In this video, we're taking the cab off of my 2006 Ram with the 5.9 common rail Cummins. Got a sticker from my first YouTube friend. He's got that channel 8 Lug Garage. It's built on a 72 Chevy. Check him out. Give him some encouragement to keep that project going. All right, the time has come to do what I've been saying I was gonna do with this all along. We're gonna take the body off of this army truck, aka DUECE, aka M35. And this bed, which is like 12 feet long, and a dump unit, and put it all together on this chassis. This is a 2006 Ram 2500. Got the Cummins diesel engine in it with a 6-speed standard transmission. It's the 4-door long bed. This truck's been on the channel before. We put this 8-foot dump bed insert on it, and I used it. That dump insert was very handy. But I parked it for a couple of months, and the computer stopped communicating with like the lift pump. It wasn't turning it on. I could jump the lift pump with a jumper wire and it would run, but it still, like the pump would run, but the engine still would not fire. So there's some communication not happening somewhere. Like I'm guessing it's not telling the CP3 to turn on and do its job. Probably gonna be looking for a standalone harness to replace most of the electronics in this unit because it's got damn near 300,000 miles on it, and wiring these tip-em things, totally integrated power module, it was a bad idea. Under the hood in the elements instead of putting it under the dashboard where it can't fail, right? I'm gonna tear this body off of here, look at a few things, shove it outside, cover up the engine, and I'm gonna pull the DUECE in and pull that body off and look into how I'm gonna get them mated up. I'm just gonna tear into this thing, fire up the furnace, and if the battery dies, you're gonna miss what you miss until I change the battery or realize it's dead. Now I'm just using this camera to document shit. So this wire here, I'm gonna try to label it. It powers the tip-em. It's built in to your positive that goes to the battery there. This big positive cable was over there on the positive terminal for that battery. It comes over here, and it's the positive terminal for this battery, for the second one. And it has an additional lead that goes down and it hooks directly to the big stud on the alternator. Here's that waste gate actuator thing the one guy made a video about. If it doesn't operate properly, you are not getting your proper boost. Okay, here's where I got after about an hour. Everything's coming apart pretty easily for the most part. This thing's got a little skeleton that does not look like it comes separate from the cab, which is really weird. So basically I got the outer fender off the inner fender, which is basically a wheel well, plastic wheel well. It's all that junk there. I'm trying to save all the wiring. I'm trying to actually take it off of the truck and leave it with the motor and chassis. So I'm kind of up into here as far as that goes. Trying to leave all the systems on the chassis. Don't let this thing fool you. I don't know if you can tell by the, on camera, but the only thing that might have been any good was the hood, but I beat the hell out of it with a snow brush one winter. This door isn't horrible, but something happened right there. Not really sure. Come in and yeah, you could clean that up maybe. Yeah, if a guy wanted that. This is not good. This is bad. Okay. These, the door, like the back door. That's got a hole in it right there. Cab corner's gone. That's not good. That's kind of the same stuff, right? So later on, when you see me with my gas axe, cutting the body mount bolts off of this thing, don't get all panties in a bunch because I should have just used a wrench. That's not going to happen. This is an ST model, so it's just got vinyl stuff inside it. It's crank windows, manual locks. Thought the only thing it had going for it was had air conditioning, I guess, but it didn't work. I drove this truck for 4 years. I never washed it once. It had like 275,000 miles on it when I got it. So, I've been leaving that open so them crazy cats can get in there and cuddle up instead of bothering me. Hey. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna continue on. There was nothing exciting about what I did over here. I'll keep bringing you back as I'm going, but there ain't gonna be no real time stuff. I got as far as I'm gonna get for tonight, which I'm pretty happy with. We got quite a bit done here. Doesn't really look like all that much because there was a lot of stuff going on inside, like here, cleaning this all off, like the wiring and the brake system off of that. Got the radiator, took the intercooler off, had to hacksaw this. I did get these two body mounts threaded out. Those came unbolted. Here's the bolts. I didn't have to heat them or nothing. They came right out. So I got everything over here off. I think for ease of extraction, when I go to pick the cab off, because I'm going to use the tractor, I'm going to hacksaw or use my Sawzall right here on both sides. Get these out of the way. That way they're not, these little hook areas ain't trying to hook up on any of this. And that should give me free rein to do what I need to do with picking the cab off of there. On this side, we still got a little bit of work to do. Some of this wiring is fastened right here. I gotta look into how that comes off. But then this Hydro Boost brake system, I'm gonna unbolt the whole system from the inside, take that off, put it over here out of the way. And there's some more wiring right here, big glob of it that's gotta come. it's got to get disconnected. We ain't far off, really. I think a couple hours tomorrow, I'll have this thing ready to go. For some reason, those cats like it in there a lot. We're not using this dump body. I may use it on something else, or I may try to sell it. I talked about the bed on that old 60s C60 Chevy. When this cab is off, the DUECE body, I did a bunch of measuring. The back of the cab is gonna come to right here. So from here back, that bed that's on the yellow Chevy out there will fit on here, and that's the plan. Well, it's been 3 or 4 days. We've been kind of working on this, but I only got about 4 hours on it. I've been in the office doing some editing, but we're basically waiting for the wheel cylinders for the rear brakes on this 85 Chevy so we can put it back together. I got that front seat unbolted and shoved back so I can get up in here and unbolt the Hydro Boost brake system that hangs out on the front side of the firewall. So we got all this cut off. That's a pretty good pile of parts I got there off the front end of this truck. The steering shaft. It seems like all we got for you is updates, because this is such a pain in the butt to try to film. Well, I gotta get the shifters unhooked. I'm hoping to pull this cab off of this today. It's like 65 degrees. Pretty windy outside, but it's really nice. So I better get to work because it's already like noon. Okay, I'm under the dash. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you get under here and just look around with a light, get the steering column out of the way, you can see everything. This is one of the easier vehicles I've worked on as far as taking like the pedals and the steering column out of here. I'm wiring like the throttle pedal. This is my brake switch off the pedal. All this stuff goes up to the steering wheel, which turns signals and stuff. And then this big conglomeration of wires is going to be what's holding me up on the outside as far as wiring goes. I don't know if it'll all fit out through there, but I ain't quite there yet. I don't really care to have this new kind of steering wheel set up in my DUECE once I put the body on here, but it might be our best option, you know, to get all the turn signals and stuff like that. Way back here in a safe spot, I got the throttle pedal, the brake system, the Hydro Boost, that's all free. I got the steering shaft, obviously, unhooked from the steering wheel, and it's pushed out, ready to go. Slave cylinder for the clutch is undone, ready to go. Still sealed. All the systems on this are still sealed. I haven't opened anything up yet, which is great. Doesn't really mean anything because I'm probably gonna pull the engine and transmission and all the shit out of here because I'm gonna be sandblasting this frame at some point. 4-wheel drive shifter out. There's the linkage sticking up out of the hole. Here's the wiring harness that I pulled out of that big hole. That was a big wad of wires went in there. It's all the main stuff. This is my trailer brake pigtail. But those two smaller ones came off of that harness that's outside there. God knows where they go right now. I think about time I get that gear shifter off the transmission, I'm gonna be ready to drag this thing outside, hook a chain on that cab, see if I can get it off there. See that? Here's the one for the 4-wheel drive shifter. I tried to do some He-Man shit with those big ass pliers. And you know, that's all right though. I figured out how to get it off. I'm assuming this is the same way. I'll see if I can do this with one hand. Oh, this one is not the same. So I'm not going to... Never mind. Okay, on this one, this rubber around the edge of the indicator diagram here, that peels back with a small screwdriver or something, and then this here will pop out, and there's a nut in there that holds it onto the shaft for the four-wheel drive selector. Apparently that's how you get the shifter off of the transmission, as far as the part that's in the cab. Yeah, lots of things are different now. That shifter came out. The four-wheel drive shifter was like the last couple things I was doing there. Before I hooked the tractor on it, I jacked up each side to make sure that the cab was free from the mounts. Also making sure there was nothing else hiding underneath that was connected or needed disconnected. And I got both sides. This side I had a 4x4 between the frame and the cab. This side I got the jack still under there. So I got to prop up the passenger side with a 4x4. I'm just trying to keep that up a little bit off of the frame, so when I hook the tractor on it, basically I don't swing the cab around and take this out or bend it or break the housing or something. We just had a pretty good thunderstorm. Barely keep my door closed without propping it closed because the wind's coming straight at the barn. Knowing my luck, a tornado will come or something and swoop me away. But I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna rig it up first with the chain and everything, and then drag it out, and then just pick this thing off, toss it in the weeds, and push her back in here. Got a break in the rain, so I'm hustling. See how long them cats want to live in there when it's raining and getting picked up. I almost forgot to take the heater hoses off. If you have an 06 or 05 or this generation Ram anyways, do yourself a favor and get in here behind the spring tower and clean that out. I'm surprised I haven't found a hole or a missing piece of the frame yet. Any spot on a frame like this is notorious for holding material, dirt, salt, mud, and people just neglect it. Like, not on purpose, they just, you know, most people don't know. As long as the thing turns on and drives down the road, it's fine. But stuff like that will kill your frame if you plan on keeping a unit for a while. It's fairly rusty. They had a plow on it. I only ever plowed my driveway with it, but the guy I got it from was a contractor and a snowplow driver, right? So I guess it could be worse. 2006, 18 years old. That was really quite simple of a job. A little bit of messing around, but all in all, you just take all the wires off the cab, and the only spot they go through the cab is that one corner over there to that side of the steering shaft. The next step would be to get the DUECE in here and do the same thing, but that is very simple. Geez, I think there's only like 6 bolts and the whole body comes off, because the engine that was in the DUECE is in that truck now. So we don't got to worry about the engine or wiring or anything like that. I'm gonna take a needler to this frame, get all the scale off it. Got a good look at this common rail Cummins now. This is the 5.9. I don't know when I'm gonna pull the DUECE in. I'll probably pull it in pretty soon here and try test fitting that cab on here, which it's gonna fit because I'll make it fit, right? It's not like, is it gonna fit because it fits or not? It's, I'm gonna make it fit. And that's the bottom line, it's gonna fit on there. But it's gonna be kind of like the Monte Carlo, because this is technically a future project. When we're waiting for parts, it doesn't make sense to just not do anything. Being a future project, I wouldn't mind getting this done right away. All I gotta do is fit that DUECE body on here, get it where I want it, find a standalone wiring harness or how to make this one work, and then build the body mounts for it. That's the biggest thing. Most likely I'm gonna build some completely new ones. In order for me to test fit the cab for the DUECE onto this chassis, I need to get my lift figured out, because it's just kind of sitting there right now. It doesn't have any power. It may need a motor to make it work. Look at them kitties. They really missed that cab. They liked that thing. He's like, hey, where's my seat? Well, that's going to be it for this teardown. I won't be doing anything else to this chassis behind me until I get this Chevy out of here. I'm going to probably try to work on my lift a little bit so I can finish that up. So I don't got, if I tear apart 2 trucks and make 2 pieces out of each one of them, I essentially got 4 more pieces of junk in my yard. So I'm trying to get them sort of mated back up, so we'll be minus 1 piece of junk if we can do that, because we'll throw out all the other stuff. So thanks for watching. See you next time.